afternoon, my fellow wonderful living abroad, frugal living abroad, do-it-yourself followers. Our videos are about the idiosyncrasies, the opportunities and challenges of living a frugal, happy life in a foreign country. Because hey, when you're a millionaire, you can live anywhere you want anyway. You can do whatever you want. So does it matter? No. Frugal folk is where it's at because we need to overcome challenges and still be happy. Now, I was at the store the other day and I ran into some peanut butter, and I don't know. The peanut butter was $6.40 or something. Good morning, Frank and Angie in Cuenca, Ecuador. You know, we just traveled to Panama, and I wasn't surprised. Well, I was surprised at first. When you go to Panama, you notice the prices reflect a country that has been taken over by New York millionaires. I'm not making that. I'm just observing, and I'm telling you. So when I come here and I'm in Cuenca and I see this peanut butter and it's like $6, what's the price on this?
It's $6.10.
$6.10 for peanut butter. Okay, it's got.
It's actually $6.42, but
okay, it's got English on the label. Now, I just want our followers to know I've never ever paid $6 for peanut butter in North America, but I'm in South America, in Ecuador, one of the cheapest places, you know, retire on a budget, and I've never paid more than $2.80 for peanut butter in North America, and in Panama is just, the prices are just you know, out of sight. But when I start seeing this in Cuenca, Ecuador, I just think people need to know, you know, what they're up against when they come to these places. So I don't understand how locals can afford that. So, but again, it is in English, so maybe it's not for locals. Have a nice day, Cuenca, Ecuador. And I said to myself, wait a minute. I used to buy peanut butter, natural peanut butter, no sugar, no preservatives, just peanuts and oil, for $2.68. I'm not going to come to the best place to retire on a budget and pay
$6.45 without the card.
$6.45, more than twice as much. That's ridiculous.
Make sure the peanuts are spread out really good in the pan, and then roast them in a 350 oven for about a half hour. Now, we like our peanuts kind of dark roasted, so we leave them in there until they're, you know, they taste like really good dark roasted peanuts.
Okay.
You can leave them in there as long as you want, you know, from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how dark roasted you like to have your peanuts. You'll start hearing them popping when they start getting to be ready to make peanut butter with.
So what are my options here? Well, I can make my own peanut butter. So I'm going to make some peanut butter today, and the cost of making my own peanut butter is just slightly under what it used to cost me to buy the fresh, natural peanut butter back in North America. So now I can buy peanut butter for around $2.65, but the quality is, I'm sorry, it's just not there. It's old. I wouldn't eat it. I might not even feed it to my dog. That's my honest, you know, assessment. The quality of the peanut butter in North America, of course, is good, and if I have to spend $6.48 to get quality, I'm just going to make my own. So I got peanuts here. I've already roasted them. It's only, you know, the peanuts are $1.20.
It's 500 grams of peanuts for $1.20 is what it is.
Now, we did talk about challenges and idiosyncrasies. We do believe in taking care of your own health. We do believe it is a priority in life. If you have no health, I don't care how many millions you got, you know, I'm sorry, but it's very difficult. So, talking about health, If I was up in North America, I would be using raw, cold-pressed oil. Now, we've already made a video about olive oil and coconut oil. The problem is that when you want to make peanut butter, you cannot use this olive oil. It's too heavy. You see how dark it is? I don't know. For people that don't use olive oil, this is a very dark, rich flavor. Not good for baked items. It's great for salads or other foods, for lunch. But for things where you don't want to overpower the flavor, you know, peanut butter, you want to taste peanuts, not olives. You want a more neutral oil. What I would use is safflower oil. It's very light and it's cold pressed and raw. It's only $7.67 in North America for a whole quart.
Frank just called them this morning.
Just confirmed this morning. Here, you can't even find it. I've talked to the folks at Super Maxi over and over. It's been 3-4 years. It doesn't materialize. So I'm going to compromise and use an olive oil that is more neutral, but unfortunately it's processed, so it's not raw oil. So that's one of the idiosyncrasies and challenges of living abroad, is sometimes you cannot get products. The products you can get cost way more than they did back home. So that's one of the challenges. So I'm going to make the peanut butter knowing full well that I'm not really going to have the raw natural peanut butter I used to be able to buy at the store in North America for only $2.68, which people are trying to get $6 or asking $6.48 here. So let's make the peanut butter. Making the peanut butter is no big deal. There's lots of videos on doing it. But again, our slant is that we're in Ecuador.
How much oil do you think you're putting in there?
The oil, you want to just do little driplets. You don't want to...
Okay.
The problem is, it's like making mayonnaise. You want to kind of just slowly put the oil in, because when you put too much oil, the peanut butter's runny, which is okay. It still tastes good, but some people might not like, you know, the runny, oily peanut butter. I like it somewhat more of a consistency, a little thicker.
We all do.
More like mud rather than paint, you know.
Exactly. That's a good analogy.
Yeah. Now this is not just a run-of-the-mill blender, it's a, what do you call these?
Vitamix.
It's a Vitamix. Thanks to our friends that brought it down, we have a Vitamix.
They sell the Vitamixes here, but they're over $1,000 for this, this blender here.
Did you hear that? It started kind of...
Yeah, I did. Are you going to tell our viewers that sometimes we do use the raw virgin extra coconut oil, and the peanut butter is really, really good?
Oh, the peanut butter is
so good, rich.
With the conditions I'm in Ecuador, where I cannot get raw safflower oil, have that neutral oil, the second best would be to get the coconut oil. Of course, I was quoted $30 for a quart, which is, I mean, cuckoo, because, you know, I mean, this is a tropical country and it's $30 for a quart of, you know. So I think there's just not enough people manufacturing this stuff, and there's just no economies of scale, and that's why it's not cheap.
Yeah. We got our coconut oil from Costco, though, and I brought it down when I came back from the States.
Okay, so anyhow, I don't put all the oil all at once. I just put enough to keep this thing going.
All right, let's look at the consistency of it.
Well, I want to get all the peanut chunks out.
Okay.
When it starts doing that, you're going to have to start adding more oil, because the Vitamix gets clogged.
Really thick.
Yeah, it's just too thick. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little more, get it going, and then add. And you see how it's turning?
All right, you're the peanut butter guy.
A little bit more honey than I usually put in, but
How much honey did you put in?
Probably a teaspoon and a half, a very heaping
Oh,
teaspoon.
it helped it out a lot.
It adds with the, it improves the viscosity, but it is stopping still. Mash it up a little bit just to help it. I like this consistency right here, so I really don't want to add a lot of oil right now, and that's why I'm helping it with the knife and spoon. Thing about homemade peanut butter, it does have a much fresher peanut flavor.
It really does. But we really like dark roasted peanuts better too.
Here we go. I got it going. See, I put a little bit more oil, just enough to keep it going.
And
Well, this is the consistency I want, and it's mashed up. It's not chunky.
all right, well let's see
And
that.
the blender is trying to go, but it kind of isn't. And that's a good place to stop. And
Peanut butter's done.
but I wanted to put a little peanut butter on some bread.
Okay. Now this is my homemade bread.
This is Angie's
I make homemade bread
homemade.
about 3 to 4 times a week.
This is very, very thick, very wholesome with the homemade bread especially. And you can see the dark roast in it has got some amazing flavor. Look how thick that is. That's really good. Now, I used this oil one time before, so that's for 2 whole jars of peanut butter, so it doesn't use a lot of oil, with 120 on the peanuts and about, this is almost $10 for this oil, so that's probably about, I don't know, $1 worth of oil. So that's about $2.20, which is slightly under the cost of U.S. peanut butter, but it's homemade. And it's way under the price people are trying to get for peanut butter here. 1/3 the price. So, frugal folk, do-it-yourself frugal folk living abroad, we got it figured out. It's not completely raw, but we can always still hope that the stores here will someday get raw safflower oil. If you know where to get some kind of raw oil like that that's neutral, we'd really appreciate it if you let us know. Thanks. Have a nice day.